This is how we should be promoting, because you only pay for leads that actually work. What other advertising gives you that? If you go to SABC and say, look, I'm willing to spend 100,000 Rand on a nice couple of TV ads, which you probably can't even do for that much anyway. But if it doesn't work, I don't want to pay you. Yeah? Go to a magazine. I really want a full-page ad, but if I don't get a response, I'm not going to pay you. Is that okay? No. Okay, that's my problem. This format, if it doesn't work, you don't pay anything. And in some cases, like Midgard, for example, they will promote Paddy for free because it's a part of their service. They're working for her. It's just a part of the natural progression. And they know that if they can make this a success, this project will be used for other projects. So Midgard will get benefit from the night out because Midgard are responsible for Paddy's house. If somebody here says, I want you to do my house as well, that's business that they've just got in. So we're all working together, using each other's databases to help each other. Now, for me, this is where, again, the future business lies in this. It's a much more natural way of doing business. And of course, every single lead that comes through is a referral. And the best kind of business is always referral business. Okay, so 100% of all the business, 100% of all the business that you get will become referral business when you start using that. That's how Majestic worked. Every single client we've got is from a referral. Or the odd one from a search engine, which is rare. Happens. Everything we got from Night Out, and most of our other clients are starting to learn the same thing. Okay, any questions?
So all this functionality, is it in the mini Majestic, or is it just on?
It's in Mini Majestic as well. Everything that we're showing is Mini. Just with Mini Majestic, you've only got up to 100 clients. There's different versions of Mini. So there's Mini 1000, which you can, Mini 100, which gives you 100 clients, Mini 1000, 1000 clients, depending on how big your database is.
Obviously, if you wanted to upgrade, you could.
Yes, you can upgrade at any time. So what effectively we said was, we built Majestic for larger businesses. And we've implemented pretty successfully. And I made a promise to myself, not unlike your story about having a bad experience and then suddenly realizing that you don't want other people to ever go through something like that. That's very much what happened to me in business several times. And I got so sick of it, and I made a promise. I said, when I eventually become financially sustainable, I'm going to stop working with the bigger guys and start working on the smaller guys, because that's where the future lies. And that was a promise that I made to myself. Now what's happened is all our big clients, all the retainers that we've got, pay for the system. So you guys are effectively getting a system that these guys are all using. That was built. So you guys are benefiting, and every day Majestic gets upgraded. There's always new features coming in. I mean, we discussed it earlier about building in new more advanced SMS functionality. So we're constantly building and making the system better and better and better. In fact, we've got to the stage where we're even looking at working with the guys at AE and actually creating an alternative exchange, which means that you can actually barter through Majestic. So you can basically say, well, I'll design a website, and that's worth 500 credits or AE credits. And then you can go into the system, and now you've got those 500 credits. You can now spend those 500 credits on another product or service. Maybe an FNA or some consulting or some wellness consultation. So because she's put in 500 rands worth of, or 500 credits worth of wellness consultation. So you're actually bartering. Yeah. This is where we want to go with Majestic, by providing an entire platform for businesses to operate.
How do you get to tap into somebody else's network, for example, if you don't? The way I see it is you have to know the person and know what they do in order for you to be able to tap into their type of business or their type.
That's why we have coffee groups where you guys can meet other businesses. You can log in, on Majestic there's a My Community tab which we've created where you can meet other businesses online. And we're effectively making it as easy as possible, or trying to allow you as a new business owner to log in and see what other businesses are using Majestic, see what type of target markets they have, link up with them, and then start to do business in that way. By the time you've got to the third journey, your database is well engaged. Then you can start to cross-market. So most Majestic users, if they've done just the basics, will be ready to cross-market. The only problem is cross-marketing is still, it's quite advanced, and there's two things that happen. First of all is the guys are a bit nervous about cross-marketing because they're still worried about people they're meeting. It's a very new industry. I mean, who's ever done that before? Can you imagine sitting around here right now, you'll pull up your laptops, you log into Majestic, and you go, oh, I'm going to market you into you and you and you. Tell me, I'll quickly write a journey. Within minutes, you can do that. within minutes, every one of you can be cross-promoting other people into your database and then tracking that. But it's just something that hasn't really understood yet. It's kind of like a lot of business owners are still too scared to just mail their database with their own stuff, never mind now somebody else's stuff. But I see it happening more and more in the future. And the facility within Majestic is there to do it. A couple of us have done it quite successfully. I do it all the time. But slowly over time, you'll get used to it. But the real thing is that what generally happens is once most people engage their own database, they realize that they don't actually need to engage anyone else's database, because there's enough business already in their own circle to make them successful, especially if they run referral marketing campaigns, which I'll talk about now. Any other questions?
I'm just trying to think like from our perspective. So for instance, now if I had to start building this database, that means I'd have to like any client, for instance, that we've done work for, putting their details into the database, or is it just like friends and other associates?
Yeah, you can put your Auntie Mavis into the database if you want. You can put anyone into your database. Remember, your journey, everything that you guys read out today is interesting to your friends. So what if they have no desire for a website whatsoever? The fact that you're communicating them and teaching them something is fine. They're going to learn about something they didn't know about. What are the 5 secrets behind a great website? Even if you're not a business owner, you'd still be interested in possibly knowing that. So as long as you're being teaching instead of selling, you can send it out to anyone. And that's the beauty of the journey process. It doesn't discriminate between, good people in your database, bad people, friends, colleagues. If you want, you can change a different journey to your friends, which is worded slightly differently. No problem with that. But the core is ultimately going to be the same. Biggest issue with Tupperware parties and things, and that whole Amway thing, when you get a phone call that says, come. I think you're a very go-getting kind of person, and I think you'd be really interested in this unique business opportunity. Come and listen to a quick presentation on it. And you fall for that every time. And the reason you fall for it is because it's not genuine. You know what I mean? And you're so scared when you become an Amway distributor, and I was once in my young days. Just however Hail Marys I need to say. And I did that. You're so scared to approach your family and friends because you feel like you're selling them stuff. But as soon as you start communicating in a way that's educational and teaching, you can send it out to everybody. Well, that's why my friends are on my journey. So yeah, your journey is for everybody. Okay, so that's that. Okay, just in terms of your database, just before I go into the referral side, remember from a security perspective, your database is always owned by you. Nobody else can touch your database. So even though cross-marketing can occur, it can't happen without your permission. Nobody can email your database without their permission. In terms of the sales funnel that I mentioned before, if this person here sends this person here 30 leads, okay, those 30 leads, it tracks each lead, it knows that this lead came from this person. So you actually know who in your database has come from where, which allows you to pull a report. So you can, if this person sends you 30 leads, this person, you can actually pull a report like the sales funnel report we demonstrated just now, and say, of the 30 leads you've given me, I've closed 7 of them, 8 of them are waiting, 12 of them said no, a few of them are in proposal. You can pull a report that says, detailed exactly where you are with each of those leads.
How do you use this? Because the majority of us are small businesses, and then you find that part of
within a big corporate, you're generally going to have a couple of different contact people. Majestic will track those 3 people are in that particular corporate. So if it's Standard Bank, you've got 3 people within Standard Bank who you're working with. And then as Vota said, these are human beings, so there are 3 people that you'll deal with. What's important is that you stay in touch with all 3 of them, because we've dealt with clients before that sell, for example, manufacturing equipment. And what they do is they do a fantastic job with one of the persons, like the CEO or whatever, okay, and they don't do any work communicating with the end user. The end user says, this is absolute rubbish, I've got useless service from them, we need to go somewhere else. And the CEO says, look, sorry, I can't, it's out of my hands now. What they should have done was they should have contacted the CEO and they should have contacted the end user. And sometimes they contact the CEO and they contact the marketing director, but they do nothing to the financial director. So the financial director outflanks them. It's just a whole nightmare, which that's dealing with corporates for you. So you need to make sure you stay in regular contact with every single person that you know. Because if you leave someone out, yeah, rest assured they have the power to veto you at the next board meeting. Yeah.